It's 2 a.m. You're staring at your phone. Another ex post, another argument in the comments. Your thumb hovers over the keyboard. You want to fire back, prove them wrong, but your chest tightens. Your mind's already racing, replaying that meeting where you said too much, that text you shouldn't have sent, that moment you lost your cool. You're tired. Not just from the day, from reacting, from overthinking, from trying to keep up with a world that never stops. What if you didn't have to? What if your quiet strength, your pause, made them think of you, not because you're loud, not because you're everywhere, but because you're calm, because you're steady, because when you're gone, they feel the space you left behind. This isn't about tricks. It's not about chasing attention. It's about living so deeply, so simply, that your presence lingers, not in their eyes, but in their minds, in the way they replay your words, your silence, your calm in the chaos. Stoicism. It's not just old words from dead philosophers. It's a way to be, a way to move through a noisy world, without adding to the noise. Today, we're walking through 10 skills, 10 ways to live, so they can't stop thinking about you, not because you demand it, but because your way of being, it sticks. These aren't big promises, no grand fixes, just quiet tools to help you stop reacting, stop overthinking, and start being someone they can't forget. If you've ever felt this pull, this weight of a mind that won't stop, drop a quiet sign below. Not for me, not for fame, but to help this reach someone else who needs a pause, just like you. Let's start with why this matters. Why do some people stay in your head? Why do you keep replaying that one conversation, that one look, that one moment when someone didn't react and didn't shout, but just stayed steady? It's not luck, it's not magic, it's something you can shape. Your mind, it's wired to notice what's different, what's rare, what's unresolved. When someone moves through life with intention, with calm, it's like a ripple in a still pond. It spreads, it lingers. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you find strength. That strength, it's what makes you unforgettable. Not your words, not your hustle, but the way you carry yourself when everyone else is falling apart. Stoicism teaches us to step back, to create space, not to disappear, but to let others feel your absence. Seneca wrote, "To make them miss you, you must give them the gift of your absence." Think about that. Your absence, it's not emptiness, it's a mirror. It shows them what you bring. Your calm, your clarity, your strength. When you're not there, they notice the void. And that void, it pulls them back to you. This isn't about playing games. It's about knowing your worth, living it quietly, deeply, so that when you're gone, they're left wondering, thinking, longing for the energy only you bring. These 10 skills, they're not new, they're ancient, but they're practical. They're for the guy in the cubicle, the freelancer burning out, the creator staring at a blank page. They're for you, right now, right where you are. Let's dive in. Skill 1. The pause before the storm. Self-control. You're in a slack thread. Someone's throwing shade. Your fingers itch to clap back. Your heart's pounding. You can feel the heat in your chest. Everyone's watching, waiting for you to snap. But you don't. You pause, you breathe, you let the moment pass. And then you respond. Not with fire, but with calm. That pause? It's power. It's not weakness. It's not suppression. It's choice. Seneca said, "You have power over your anger if you choose to control it." Most people react, they lash out, they regret it later. But you're different. You're the guy who stays steady when the room's spinning. And that's what they remember. Think about it. When was the last time you admired someone who lost their cool? Probably never. But that guy at work who didn't flinch when the boss was yelling, you thought about him later. wondered how he did it. That's the power of self-control. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's magnetic. Picture this. You're at a bar. Some guy's being loud, trying to start something. Everyone's tense. But you don't take the bait. You sip your drink, crack a small smile, say something short, calm, disarming. The room relaxes. Later, their people aren't talking about the loud guy. They're talking about you. How you didn't need to shout to own the moment. Self-control isn't about being a robot. It's about being the master of your own mind. When you don't react, you create space. Space for clarity, space for strength. And that space, it's what makes them think of you. Long after the argument's over, long after the day's done, try this. Next time you're triggered, count to 3. Breathe. Notice the urge to react and let it pass. Watch how others look at you. They'll see strength, they'll see calm, and they'll think about it later, wondering how you stayed so steady. Drop a sign below if you're ready to pause. Say, calm is my power. Not for me, but for you. To remind yourself, Daz, you're stronger than the storm. Skill 2. The clear path in fog. Rational decision making. You're in a meeting. Deadlines are crashing. Everyone's shouting ideas. Half the room's panicking, the other half's checked out. You could jump in, toss out something quick, just to be heard. But you don't. You lean back. You think. You ask, what's the goal here? And suddenly, the room shifts. They're listening. Rational decisions, they're not boring. They're rare. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." Most people decide on impulse. They follow the crowd. They regret it later. But you weigh the options. You see the long game. And that clarity, it's what makes you stand out. Imagine this. Your friends are arguing over where to eat. Everyone's hangry. Voices are rising. You could pick a side or stay quiet. Instead, you say, let's find a place with something for everyone. You suggest a spot. It's not perfect, but it's fair. Everyone nods. The night's saved. Later, they're not thinking about the argument. They're thinking about you. How you cut through the noise. Rational decisions. They don't just solve problems. They show who you are. You're not swayed by the moment. You're not chasing applause. You're thinking clearly, deliberately. And that's what sticks. They'll think of you when they're stuck, wondering, what would he do? Here's a challenge. Next decision you face, big or small, ask, what's the long game? Take a beat, weigh the options. Notice how others react when you choose wisely. They'll see you differently. They'll remember. If you're ready to think clearly, drop "I choose wisely" below. It's a quiet nod to yourself, to the guy who sees through the fog. Skill 3. The anchor in waves. Resilience in adversity. Your pitch got rejected. Again, the client's email is brutal. Not what we're looking for. Your stomach drops. You could spiral, overthink every word you wrote, but you don't. You read the email again. You nod. You write down one thing to improve, and you move on. Resilience. It's not about never falling. It's about getting up. Marcus Aurelius said, "The obstacle is the way. Life's going to hit you hard. Jobs will end. Plans will fail. People will let you down. Most guys stay down. They complain. They quit. But you're different. You take the hit. You learn. You keep going. That strength, it's quiet, but it's powerful. People notice. They see you dust yourself off. They see you show up, even after the loss. And they think about it later, wondering how you do it, how you stay steady when the waves are crashing. Picture this. Your team's project tanks. Everyone's pointing fingers. The mood's toxic. But you don't join the blame game. You say, let's figure out what's next. You suggest a fix. It's not perfect, but it's forward. Later, your teammates aren't talking about the failure. They're talking about you, how you didn't break. Resilience. It's not about being tough. It's about being adaptable. It's about knowing the storm doesn't define you. It refines you. And that's what makes you unforgettable. They'll think of you when they're struggling, wondering how you keep going. Try this. Next time you fail, write down one thing you learned. Just one. Then move on. Notice how others see you. They'll see strength. They'll see grit. And they'll remember. If you're ready to rise, drop "I rise stronger" below. It's not a boast. It's a reminder. You're tougher than the toughest storms. Skill 4. The gift of being here. Mindful presence. Your friends venting. Again, same story. Different day. Your phone's buzzing. You could check it. Scroll X for a second. No one would notice. But you don't. You put the phone down. You look at him. You listen. Really listen. You nod. You say, "That sounds rough." And he pauses. He feels seen. Presence. It's rare. Marcus Aurelius said, "Think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." Most people are half here, half on their phones, half in their heads. But you're here, fully. And that's what makes you different. Think about it. When was the last time someone gave you their full attention? No distractions, no wandering eyes. It felt good, right? Like you mattered. That's the gift you give when you're present. You make them feel seen. And that feeling, it lingers. They'll think of you when they're alone, wishing they had someone who listens like you. Picture this. You're at a coffee shop, catching up with a coworker. She's stressed, talking fast. You could nod along, check your watch, but you don't. You lean in, ask a question, really hear her. Later, she texts you, "Thanks for listening." She's not just grateful, she's thinking about you, how you made her feel, like she wasn't alone. Presence. It's not about saying the perfect thing, it's about being there, fully. It's about showing up when everyone else is distracted. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Try this. Next conversation, put your phone down. Look at them. Listen. Notice how it changes the moment. How they open up. How they remember you. If you're ready to be here, drop "I'm fully here" below. It's a quiet promise. To yourself. To the people who matter. Skill 5. The steady flame. Emotional regulation. Your coworker snaps out of nowhere. Says something sharp about your work. Your jaw tightens. You could snap back, match their energy, escalate. But you don't. You take a breath. You name the feeling. "I'm annoyed." And you let it pass. You say, "Let's talk this through." And the tension breaks. Emotional regulation. It's not about being cold. It's about being in charge. An old Stoic said, "He who controls his emotions controls his life." Most people are puppets, pulled by anger, fear, frustration. But you're the one pulling the strings. You decide how to respond. And that's what makes you stand out. Think about it. When was the last time you respected someone who blew up, who let their emotions run the show? Never. But the guy who stayed calm when everyone else was losing it? You thought about him later. Wondered how he held it together. That's the power of a steady flame. It doesn't flicker, no matter the wind. Picture this. You're stuck in traffic. Someone cuts you off. Honks. Your blood boils. You could lean on your horn, flip them off. But you don't. You breathe. You turn up your music. You let it go. The guy in the car next to you, he sees it. He notices. Later, he's telling someone. This guy, he didn't even flinch. You're in his head because you didn't react. Emotional regulation. It's not about hiding your feelings. It's about choosing how they show up. It's about being the guy who doesn't let a bad moment ruin a good day. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Try this. Next time you're upset, name the feeling. "I'm angry. I'm stressed." Then breathe. Choose your response. Notice how others react when you stay steady. They'll see you differently. They'll remember. If you're ready to stay steady, drop "calm is my choice" below. It's not a flex. It's a commitment to being the flame that doesn't flicker. Skill 6. The quiet code. Virtuous living. You messed up. A deadline missed. Your team's frustrated. You could point fingers, blame the client, blame the system, but you don't. You raise your hand. My bad. Let's fix it. No excuses, just honesty. And the room shifts. They respect you. Virtue. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real, Marcus Aurelius said. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Most people cut corners. They dodge the hard choice. They hide their mistakes. But you do what's right, even when it's tough, even when no one's watching. That integrity? It's quiet, but it's heavy. It plants seeds, seeds of trust, seeds of respect. People notice. They don't always say it, but they think about it. They think about you, the guy who didn't take the easy way out. Picture this. You're at a party. Someone's gossiping, spreading a rumor. It's juicy. You could join in, get a laugh, but you don't. You change the subject. Keep it light. Later, someone pulls you aside. Thanks for not piling on. They're thinking about you, how you didn't stoop, how you stayed true. Virtue. It's not about preaching. It's about living. It's about being the guy who does the right thing when the wrong thing's easier. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Try this. Next time you're tempted to take the easy way, choose the hard one. Do what's right. Notice how it feels. Notice how others see you. They'll think of you when they're faced with their own choices. If you're ready to live true, drop "I choose virtue" below. It's a quiet vow to yourself, to the man you want to be. Skill 7. The peace in what is. Acceptance of reality. Your flight's delayed. Again, the airport's a zoo. People are yelling at the desk. Your plans are shot. You could join the chaos, complain, stress, but you don't. You grab your book, you sit, you breathe. It is what it is. Acceptance. It's not giving up. It's freedom. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Life's going to throw curveballs. Plans will break. People will disappoint. Most guys fight it. They resist. They waste energy. But you see it, you accept it, and you move on. That calm, it's magnetic. People notice. They see you unruffled when everyone else is unraveling. They think about it later, wondering how you stay so grounded, how you find peace in a world that's always shifting. Picture this. Your boss changes the project of last minute. Your team's pissed. Everyone's grumbling. But you nod. All right, let's make it work. You focus on what you can do, not what you can't. Later, your teammate says, "You didn't even blink." You're in their head because you didn't fight what you couldn't change. Acceptance. It's not about being passive. It's about being present. It's about saving your energy for what matters. Your actions, your choices, your peace. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Try this. Next time something goes wrong, say, "It is what it is." Breathe. Focus on what's next. Notice how others react when you don't fight reality. They'll see you differently. They'll remember. If you're ready to find peace, drop "I accept what is" below. It's not surrender. It's strength. The kind that lingers. Skill 8. The weight of each step. Purposeful action. You get a meeting invite. Another pointless Zoom. You could say yes, go through the motions. But you don't. You ask, "Does this matter?" You say no. You spend that hour on something real. Something that moves you forward. Purpose. It's not about being busy. It's about being deliberate. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be. Then do what you have to do. Most people drift, they react, they fill their days with noise. But you choose. Every step, every action. And that's what makes you stand out. Think about it. When was the last time you admired someone who just went along, who did things just because? Never. But the guy who said no, who focused on what mattered? You thought about him, wondered what drove him. That's the power of purpose. It's not loud, it's heavy. Picture this. You're working on a side project. Everyone's telling you. It's a long shot, but you know why you're doing it. You show up every day, small steps, consistent. Months later, it's taking shape. People notice. They're not just impressed. They're thinking about you. How you didn't just talk. You acted with purpose. Purposeful action. It's not about big moves. It's about small ones that align with who you are. It's about saying no to what doesn't matter and yes to what does. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Try this. Before your next action, ask, does this align with who I am? If it doesn't, let it go. Notice how others see you when you move with intention. They'll think of you when they're lost in their own noise. If you're ready to move with purpose, drop I move with purpose below. It's a quiet choice. To live, not just exist. Skill 9. The light in now. Gratitude for the present. You're grabbing coffee. The line's long. Your inbox is screaming. You could stress, scroll X to kill time. But you don't. You notice the smell of the beans. The warmth of the cup. You think, this is enough. And you smile. Gratitude. It's not cheesy. It's powerful. An old saying goes, gratitude turns what we have into enough. Most people chase. They worry about tomorrow. They miss today. But you're here. You see the good, right now. And that's what makes you different. Think about it. When was the last time someone's positivity changed your mood? Not fake cheer, but real. Quiet contentment. It felt good, right? Like they had a secret. That's the gift you give when you're grateful. You make them feel lighter, and they think about you when their day feels heavy. Picture this. You're at dinner with friends. Everyone's complaining. Work, bills, life. But you raise your glass. I'm just glad we're here. It's small, but it shifts the vibe. Later, someone texts you. That meant a lot. They're thinking about you, how you found light in a dark moment. Gratitude. It's not about ignoring the bad. It's about seeing the good. It's about being the guy who doesn't need more to feel enough. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Try this. Today, name one thing you're grateful for. Just one. Say it out loud. Notice how it feels. Notice how others react deaf when you share it. They'll think of you when they need a reminder to slow down. If you're ready to see the lights drop, grateful for now below. It's not a trend, it's a way to live. Right here, right now. Skill 10. The art of seeing them. Emotional intelligence. Your teammates quiet all week. Everyone else is too busy to notice. You could ignore it. Keep working. But you don't. You pull them aside. You good? They hesitate. Then open up and you listen. Really listen. Emotional intelligence. It's not mind reading. It's caring. Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Most people miss the cues. They're too wrapped up in their own heads. But you see, you feel, you respond. And that's what makes you stand out. Think about it. When was the last time someone really got you? Saw what you weren't saying? Heard what you didn't say? It felt good, right? Like you weren't alone. That's the gift you give when you tune in. You make them feel understood. And they think about you when they're struggling, wishing you were there. Picture this. Your buddy's stressed. Wedding plans, work, life. He's rambling. You could nod along. check your phone. But you don't. You look at him. Sounds like a lot, man. You don't fix it. You don't preach. You just listen. Later, he calls you. Thanks for being there. You're in his head because you saw him. Emotional intelligence. It's not about being soft. It's about being human. It's about seeing the person behind the words and responding in a way that matters. And that's what makes you unforgettable. Try this. Next conversation, listen. Don't plan your reply. Just hear them. Notice how it changes the moment, how they open up, how they remember you. If you're ready to see them, drop "I feel you" below. It's not a slogan. It's a promise to be the guy who doesn't just hear, but understands. That's it. 10 skills. 10 ways to live. So they can't stop thinking about you. Not because you're loud, not because you're perfect, but because you're you. Quiet, deep, real. You don't need to change. You don't need to shout. You just need to be, to pause, to think, to show up in a way that's true. The rest, it follows. They'll think of you, not because you asked, but because you're calm, your strength, your presence, it lingers. If this felt like a pause, like a moment to breathe, come back tomorrow. It's here, waiting for you, for the guy who's ready to live, simply, deeply, quietly. Stay quiet, stay deep, stay you.